The sun was setting over Maplewood, a quiet suburban town just outside of Chicago. Neat rows of houses lined the streets, each with manicured lawns and picket fences. The air smelled faintly of freshly cut grass and barbecued meat. In one of these homes, the Johnson family was winding down after a long day. John, the father, sat on the porch with a cold beer in his hand, while his wife, Emily, washed dishes inside. Their teenage son, Dylan, was upstairs, lost in the virtual world of video games.
John, did you see the news today? More layoffs at the plant down the road. That's the third factory in the area to close this year. I'm worried about the economy. People keep saying it'll bounce back, but when?
Yeah, I heard. Doesn't look good. I saw Bob from across the street packing up his car earlier. Guess he's heading out to look for work in the city. Everyone's just trying to keep their head above water these days. What about you, Emily? How are things at the store?
It's the same. Quiet. Fewer customers each week. We're holding on, but I don't know how long it'll last. People are cutting back on everything. It's hard to believe, we're in one of the richest countries in the world, and yet it feels like everything's falling apart for so many. Question: John, how do you think most people in this town are coping with all of this uncertainty? A, they're just getting by, trying to make it through each day. B, some are doing okay, but the rest are losing hope. C, most people are staying optimistic, thinking things will turn around.
Answer: A, they're just getting by, trying to make it through each day. People around here are just getting by, Emily. Everyone's scraping together what they can to pay the bills, put food on the table, and hope for the best. I don't think anyone's expecting miracles at this point, just trying to survive.
Emily sat down beside John, looking out at the empty street. The neighborhood was peaceful, but there was an underlying tension, a kind of quiet desperation that everyone seemed to share but no one spoke about.
It's like everyone's pretending everything's fine, but you can feel it in the air. People are scared. I know I am. What if the store closes, John? What will we do?
We'll figure it out, Em. We always do. Maybe it's time to start thinking about other options, though. We've talked about moving out west. Maybe there's more opportunity out there. Or maybe I could pick up some extra shifts, do some side jobs.
Moving sounds nice, but starting over, I don't know. It's just, we've built a life here. The idea of packing up everything and leaving feels impossible, and Dylan's finally settled in at school.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do, Nothing's certain anymore. We need to be prepared, at least. Question: Emily, what do you think would be the hardest part about leaving Maplewood? A, leaving behind the memories we've built here. B, uprooting Dylan from school and his friends. C, facing the unknown in a completely new place.
Answer: B, uprooting Dylan from school and his friends. I think uprooting Dylan would be the hardest part, option B. He's finally starting to make friends and find his place. Moving him now might throw him off balance. Kids need stability, and with everything else changing, I don't want him to lose that.
As the conversation settled into a comfortable silence, they watched as the streetlights flickered on. The glow illuminated the front yards of the neighbors who had also retreated indoors, away from the stresses of the world outside. Inside, Dylan's laughter echoed down from his room as he connected with friends through his game, blissfully unaware of the burdens his parents carried.
I wish life were as simple as it is for Dylan right now. All he worries about is making it to the next level in his game. Sometimes I wish we could go back to when things were easier, when the biggest concern was whether we had enough time for a family picnic on the weekend.
Yeah, simpler times. But you know, I'm glad Dylan doesn't have to carry the weight of all this yet. It's our job to shield him from it as much as we can. He'll have his own battles to face when he's older. Right now, he should just enjoy being a kid.
You're right. I just hope we can keep things steady long enough for him to grow up without feeling the effects of all this instability. Question: what do you think is the most important thing we can do for Dylan during times like these? A. Make sure he feels secure, no matter what happens. B. Be honest with him about the challenges we're facing. C. Keep his routine as normal as possible so he doesn't feel the impact.
Answer: A. Make sure he feels secure, no matter what happens. I think the most important thing is making sure he feels secure, no matter what happens. Option A. He doesn't need to know all the details about what we're dealing with. If he feels like home is a safe place and that we've got things under control, that's what matters most.
The wind picked up slightly, and Emily wrapped her arms around herself as the cool breeze brushed past. She looked at John, his face set with quiet resolve, and felt a sense of calm wash over her.
You know, I think you're right. No matter what happens, as long as we have each other, we'll be okay. We'll figure it out, just like we always do.
That's the spirit. We've made it this far, haven't we? We'll keep going. And who knows, maybe this tough patch will make us stronger in the long run.
Maybe, let's hope so.
As the stars began to appear in the darkening sky, John and Emily sat in the quiet, their worries momentarily at bay. The future was uncertain, but as long as they faced it together, they knew they could handle whatever was coming. 5 words and phrases related to the theme of American Suburbia.
Suburbia. A residential area on the outskirts of a city, often characterized by quiet neighborhoods and family homes. Economic instability. A situation where the economy is unpredictable, with potential job losses and financial struggles for individuals and families.
Factory layoffs. The dismissal of workers from a factory due to economic downturns or company closures. Uprooting. Moving from a familiar place, often leaving behind a home, school, or community.
Routine. A regular pattern of activities, especially important for providing stability in uncertain times.